Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. The Nifty 50 slipped below 21,700 mark yesterday on the second day of the new year after finding support at these levels for the previous three sessions in a row. Should you brace for more volatility on Nifty even as the Nifty Bank's weekly options expiry is today? We will tell you all of it, but first up the top headlines we're tracking for you this hour. Well, the Nifty is likely to remain in a sideways to consolidating band on Wednesday as investors remain skeptical of taking fresh long positions after a sustained rally in December and November. Quarterly earnings will set the trend in the weeks ahead. Meanwhile, traders are likely to enjoy the bounce among cash stocks as momentum, price and volume remain embedded in low-ticket and high-beta shares. Extreme caution is advised, as also the necessity of a stop-loss. Very good morning to all our viewers and good morning to you, Shail, as well. Well, when we talk about the benchmark index, Nifty did face pressure from nearly all sectors yesterday, barring the pharma and the metals. At one point in time, what you were also indicating that the lower support of 21,550 was also tested as well. Tell us, what are we bracing for going forward as far as the Nifty is concerned? Is it just to do with profit booking at higher levels or is there more to it?
A very good morning to you, Sakshi, and to thousands of viewers who are joining us on Market Today at Business Today Television. A very, very warm welcome to you. Despite the stunningly cold winter that we have in Delhi, Sakshi, the same I think is now getting reflected on at least the Bank Nifty, but we'll start with the Nifty. You've rightly mentioned that yesterday and 4 days before, we've seen the Nifty testing the lows of the first day of the weekly of the FNO expiry for January, which actually started on December 29th. Yesterday, there was a minor collapse, and if you look at the internals of the Nifty, there is consistent weakness. The chart is in front of you as far as the Nifty is concerned, and you will see that the trend at the moment is sideways and the index is about to consolidate in the sessions ahead. But let's look at the internals. If you look at how the Nifty shut shop, it was almost near its day's low and at about 21,665. At the moment, if you see, the advance decline ratio of the Nifty towards the close favors bears. For every two stocks that rose, there were three that went down, and within the index heavyweights, the group of 12 index heavyweights like Reliance, HDFC, Infosys, Sakshi, only 3 rose out of 12, so 9 were in the red. So as you can see, there are slight cracks that are appearing on the Nifty, and for the moment, if you see the index, it is still above the 5-day exponential moving average, but the low actually tested the 9-day exponential moving average. Therefore, my assumption is that you've had enough as far as the risk reward ratio is concerned on the long side. This is a time to be very, very circumspect on the index, especially the Nifty, and any dips, let's for a moment forget about them. Let the index consolidate. It's done a fantastic job in November and December, and most likely you'll see successive lower lows on the Nifty. Of course, the fall will be calibrated by Reliance Industries and HDFC Bank, but the fact remains that the structure is now tending to get weaker and weaker. And remember, yesterday I had talked about how short positions on the index might open up 21,560, 21,550 on the index. It happened in a flash, and now if you see the short build-up that is happening on the index, some levels at 21,350 are opening. But remember, unless 21,500 is broken, there is no risk or sharp risk to a very sharp slide. So we'll just let it happen. And the fact that actually, if we look at the US 10-year yield and the dollar index, after a sustained sell-off, both of them are now up. The US 10-year yield which has been the cornerstone of bears all through 2023, all through 2022, is now showing an uptick, and that's a cause of worry as far as the bulls are concerned for the short term. Sakshi.
Absolutely, Shail. Now, when we talk about the Nifty bank also, Shail, it did not find support, at below 48,000 mark. It closed below that level. It also ended at the lowest point of the day. There was a lack of support from banking stocks all across, which had been the key contributors in the December rally, and perhaps one of the key reasons for the index underperformance in both the first two sessions of 2024. Will banks continue to be a pain point for the Nifty?
Absolutely. Sakshi, you very rightly said the bank Nifty actually ended at day's low yesterday. The chart is there in front of you, and it's closed below the 5 and the 9-day exponential moving average, which basically means that the short term trend is now no longer in favor of bulls. It's a 1-week low on the bank Nifty, and today, of course, is the weekly expiry day. So, all 12 stocks of the bank Nifty ended in the red yesterday. So that is where the pain point is as far as the market is concerned, that large private sector banks are no longer responding to, how should I say, the calls that are given by bulls. Therefore, there is a systematic pause. The chart itself is very clear. On 4 successive days, you have seen lower lows and lower highs. That basically means that selling pressure is increasing at record levels, and one must be really careful as far as bank Nifty is concerned. Here the trend is definitely sideways to consolidative to down, and therefore there is no point looking to purchase the bank Nifty down. Let it settle on its way down, and then obviously you will have a lot of traction. But that said, Sakshi, while private sector banks are doing nothing, it's the public sector banks that are offering very strong, how should I say, long side support. There is very good news coming on Punjab National Bank in terms of its quarterly update, the ones that they have given. Both the CASA ratio as well as credit dispersion is up in double digits. That should be good news. Remember, we had talked about Punjab National Bank now moving into 3 digits. Probably this is the thrust that was necessary. Similar things are coming on CSB Bank. Very strong business update they've provided to the exchanges, and these are outperforming pockets within the banking sector. Overall, I would presume that things look a little quiet for the bank Nifty as also for the Nifty, but cash stocks will continue to attract traders on the long side. That is where price is, that is where momentum is, and that is where volume is, Sakshi.
Absolutely, and we'll continue to mark for all our viewers these small ticket high beta stocks, as we always do, because that's where the action lies. But in the F&O space, Shail, any particular stocks that you're watching out for today?
Sakshi, I'll be a little quiet on the F&O side, because you see the updates that are coming are not really enthusiastic. So third quarter earnings begin on January 11th, and I would imagine that long side trades are slightly difficult to get. Hero Motors is something that I'd like to highlight. They disappointed analysts when they announced that their volume sales for December were below projections. So in fact they slipped year on year as well. And remember, all through December, Hero Motors was one of those superb outperforming stocks that was hitting consistent highs on the Nifty. I would imagine that you will see some selling pressure there as far as the counter is concerned in F&O. On the long side, I am very keen on Punjab National Bank, CSB Bank, as also manganese ore. All 3 companies have announced very strong performances for the quarter and for December, especially manganese ore. A 31% rise in metal output for the month of December, which is a record. So these are the 3 stocks that I'm looking on the long side. But the fact that overall sentiment is tepid, so long side trades probably might not work that well as they were working over the last 2 odd months. So one needs to exercise caution, and as you rightly said, stop loss is your dear friend. Keep that in mind. As also, it's the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty. So let's just sort of enjoy the winter in Delhi. रेवड़ी मूंगफली खाते हैं, आग के सामने बैठते हैं, बढ़िया लगता है.
Absolutely, Shail. And I remember that you are going to be getting us all that, Reverie from Meerut for all of us to enjoy. And we are going to be celebrating together.
Yes.
And Lodi is fast approaching, so it calls for all of that celebration very, very soon. But let's
Absolutely.
also look at how global cues are shaping up. The US markets ended mixed. However, it was the Nasdaq that ended down by over 245 points. In fact, it dropped the most in more than 2 months on Tuesday as the tech sector giants dubbed the Magnificent Seven fall. In fact, it was only the Dow that ended with minor positive gains. The first day of the new year brought 2023's scorching rally in the US to a halt after more than $8 trillion surge in S&P 500 as well. Of course, that one slipped by almost 0.5%. It was the Nasdaq which posted the third worst one-day performance since 2001 dot-com bubble as well. So that's something that investors had been worried about. Asian equities fell after the weak handover from the Wall Street on their first session of 2024. On the GIFT Nifty, the benchmark Sensex and the Nifty are likely to open marginally lower as far as the indications are concerned. The foreign institutional investors, however, bought shares worth 1,600 crore rupees in yesterday's trade. Domestic institutional investors sold about 1959 odd crore rupees as well. Apart from this, there are several other pockets that you need to keep an eye out on. Several stocks that you should be keeping an eye out on. Of course, yesterday was a pharma day. The biggest gainers were Lupin, Glenmark Pharma, Oro Pharma, Cipla hitting their 52-week highs. They will continue to be in focus again today. The Adani Hindenburg case could be heard in the Supreme Court, so that space will be under watch. Avenue Supermarts has come out with its business update. The December quarter standalone revenue is up 17.2% year on year and 7.6% sequentially as well. The revenue growth below the 4-year CAGR at 21.2%. Is something that you need to continue to watch out for. Hero Moto, already spoken by Shail over here. The overall sales in December were flattish at 3.9 lakh units. So that's going to be in focus. Punjab National Bank, here the domestic advances are up 13.9% year on year to 8.2 lakh crore rupees as well. The domestics are also the deposits are also up by 9% odd. Bank of Maharashtra is going to be in focus. The total deposits are up by 18% from last year to 2.46 lakh crore rupees as well. So that's a bit of a positive again on this one. VST Industries is going to be in focus. Radhakrishna Damani has acquired another 2.22 lakh shares in the company via block deals, and SBI Mutual Fund was the other buyer in the block deal as well. So these are some of the stocks that are in focus. Shail.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's just the right time to welcome our dear friend Gaurang Shah, Senior Vice President at Geojit Financial Services. He's joining us for the first time in 2024. A very warm welcome to you, Gaurang. Happy New Year. And it seems you've had a haircut.
Not a haircut. I think I've got quite short. So I was telling my barber that let my curls be, but unfortunately he was too happy to use his scissors. After a long time, I got into his hand. So morning to all of y'all, and Happy New Year to you, Sakshi, and your entire team at BTTV and all the viewers. And pray to God that you all guys stay in good health.
Thank you, Gaurang, and Happy New Year to you too.
Okay. So, yeah. Gaurang, one thing I wanted to understand, this haircut is only on you, not on the market, right?
Well, I definitely think it is only on my head, but not on the market, because market is an absolute.
Yes.
You were mentioning about Meerut ki thand and the goodies that you're going to get from Meerut for Sakshi and the team. तो आपके चाहने वाले बंबई में भी बैठे हैं, तो हो सके तो इधर भी कुरियर कर देना।
बिल्कुल,
हमारे जुबान पे भी चस्का
बिल्कुल हाजिर है जनाब। बिल्कुल आपको जनवरी 9 और 11 के बीच में मैं खुद अपने इन नाचीज़ हाथों से पेश करूंगा रेवड़ी, और मुलाकात भी होगी। लेकिन बाज़ार के बारे में चर्चा करते हैं। आपने अपना सर हल्का कर लिया थोड़ा हेयर कट कर करके। अब बताइए, बाज़ार हल्का होता हुआ दिख रहा है या फिर ठीक है, तेज़ी वापस आएगी?
देखिए शैल भाई, 72,000 की सेंसेक्स और 21,700 800 की निफ्टी पर अगर आपको 500-600 पॉइंट निफ्टी में करेक्शन अगर आता हुआ दिखता है, उसी लिहाज से अगर 3,000 3,500 4,000 का करेक्शन अगर सेंसेक्स में भी आता है, तो इससे किसी को भी आश्चर्यचकित या ताज्जुब नहीं होना चाहिए। एक अच्छा खासा ऊपर का दायरा हमने पिछले 2-3 हफ्ते से, महीने भर से हम देख रहे हैं। जब से मेरे ख्याल से 2 नवंबर वो दिन था, अभी भी मुझे याद है शैल भाई। निफ्टी मेरे ख्याल से निफ्टी was below 19,000, 18,950. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you and Sakshi might be having the chart of the Nifty. And from there to almost 22,000 on the Nifty. I think we have come a long way. Let's give it to the market. जनवरी का महीना हर साल अगर आप देखें तो थोड़ा सुस्त रहता है, मुनाफा वसूली की चपेट में आती है। बहुत जल्द, आई थिंक वेरी अर्ली सेकेंड वीक ऑफ Jan, you'll see the curtain raiser for third quarter, followed up by budget on 1st of Feb. And then, of course, the fourth earnings and the big bang event in form of general election.
Yeah.
And I think it will give an opportunity. I don't think there's going to be a deep correction. 21,600 should hold out. If it doesn't, then there might be a little bit of more downside, plus minus 50, 70 points on the Nifty. But I don't think there is any meaningful downward risk to the market. I think we were all celebrating the new year in the last week of December with Sensex and Nifty touching all-time high. And there is plenty more to come in terms of higher levels for the markets.
Absolutely, Gaurang, and that's a wonderful way to put as far as how the markets may be panning out. Not too much worried, even if there is a 500-600 point of a correction. But where should one be buying this dip? Where exactly would you be deploying fresh money in 2024?
So, Sakshi, we have, I don't know, I don't recollect if we highlighted the sectorial, uh, view on the market on our channel BTTV. So, for the benefit of all your viewers and investors, I think banking and finance, both public sector banks, private sector banks, strong NBFCs, autos, cement, metal, defense, power generation, power transmission and distribution, power equipments, railways, IT, and FMCG. So I think I've laid down broadly about 6 to 7 odd sectors. Try to focus within this sectors, large cap and select mid caps. And my sense is that from a longish time, you can end up a decent kind of a return. Let me give you a sense of our expectation on the Sensex and Nifty for the calendar year 2024. I think last year we saw close to about 20 odd percent on Sensex and Nifty. This year, given the backdrop of events and a little bit of uncertainty, I think I'll approach the market with an expected return of about 12 to 15% on Sensex and Nifty. Some stock specific ideas may deliver better than this. And I think if the big event in form of general election goes in line with expectation of the market, then I think that 15% higher trajectory can be scaled up to maybe about 18 to 20 again.
Okay. Fair enough. Gaurang, you've mentioned about 7-8 sectors where you've suggested that, focus should be on both large caps and a little bit of mid caps as well. Are there any particular names that you've come out with for 2024, your top stock ideas?
Well, so I think I'll start with banking. I'll give State Bank of India, Axis Bank, two names, M&M Financials, Chola Mandalam Investments, Shriram, L&T Finance and Holding are the other ones. Autos, Tata Motor, Bajaj Auto, Ashok Leyland, M&M Maruti, whole host of two-wheelers are also there, Aisin Motors included. Mid-cap IT, I think LTI, Mindtree, Science Limited, KPIT Tech, Tata LXI, large cap names, TCS, Infosys, HCL Tech and Tech Mahindra. Wipro, I'm a little bit concerned with the kind of earnings that they have delivered and the management commentary. So that is one that I would possibly just wait out. In form of cement, I think mid-cap cement especially, JK Lakshmi Cement, Ramco Cement, Dalmia Bharat, Birla Corp, large cap cements, ACC Ultratech, Ambuja Grasim. I think defense is a very strong play along with the power generation and railways. So all your government-owned companies which are dominating the defense sector along with some private players, and similarly in case of power generation, transmission and distribution, I think you should look at mix of both. So like Tata Power, Torrent Power, NTPC, Power Grid, CESC, to name a few, in form of power transmission distribution and power equipment KEC International. I think I've laid down a nice, decent portfolio for your viewers.
Right. I think Gaurang has discussed some 15 stocks, and all of them are gems. They've done fairly well in 2023, and hopes are that 2024 will be better for them when it comes to the theme as far as gains are concerned. Gaurang, a new rally started in the pharma space yesterday. Of course, the index is at a record high, but a lot of old favorites came back to the fore. Divi's Lab, Cipla, Abbott Laboratories, things that we had missed for the last 5 years. Any mid-cap pharma pick that you have in mind which still looks good?
Sure, sure. So I think whenever you have these kind of uncertainty and consolidation, correction, profit booking in the market, you will see pharma, a little bit of IT, though IT was under the pressure yesterday. So pharma was hogging the limelight. So one mid-cap name in the pharma universe which is not generally discussed or talked about is Zydus Life Science. I think it is somewhere close to about 700 odd rupees. About a fortnight or 3 weeks back, there was a positive news flow also on this particular company from US, if I'm not mistaken. About 100 and 700 rupees, I think from a medium to long term point of view can comfortably look at target of about 780 to 800 in the mid term, and maybe 850 and beyond from a longish kind of time price.
Okay, Zydus Life actually broke out of a very long consolidative phase. You've seen similar prices in May 2021, although the counter has rebounded very sharply from 364 at August of 22 to 712 now, but more upside seen according to Gaurang. You mentioned that defense is a very, very strong play even at current levels after many of these stocks have given phenomenal multi-bagger returns in 2023. Where would you, Gaurang, be putting money even at current levels within the defense space?
So, Shail, if you remember, I think last year, second half, all the defense stock witnessed profit booking, and that was primarily because of large investors and fund houses offloading certain investments in the defense sector. Probably, they would have thought that they have done their run up, and possibly the targets that they had in mind were in place. So you had a little bit of blip in the second half, starting second half, if I'm not mistaken, in the entire defense sector, starting with your HALs and the Bharat Dynamics and the Mazgaon Docks and the Cochin Shipyard of the world, including BHEL and BEL. All these names are very strong investment ideas. Some of them, when the IPO was there, we had come out with a recommendation of to subscribe in the IPO. And mind you, Shell, what happened in the defense about 3 to 4 years back, I think exact replica of that is going to happen in the power generation, transmission, distribution, power equipments and railways. All these sectors, the last two sectors, that is power and railways that I mentioned, are witnessing similar kind of developments that defense witnessed. And mind you, Shell, I think defense is not a 1 year, 2 year play. I think people who misunderstand that needs to correct their thought process. It's a multi-year kind of growth, kind of trajectory, opportunity for all these three sectors. And not only they cater in India, but I think there is large opportunity as far as exports is also concerned, especially with defense and of course power. So my sense is that all these sectors. So I've mentioned about some names in the defense pack. In power generation, we like Tata Power, Torrent Power, and NTPC, CESC included. In power transmission and distribution, we like companies like Power Grid, Power Equipments, KEC International. In railways, you have whole host of choices, right from the public sector companies to private players. Uh, and given the kind of modernization that the Indian Railways is going through, I think here again, and more of also with the connectivity, Shell, government's ideal approach is to get more of transportation from road to railways, and thereby increasing connectivity and issues of last mile connectivity. So I think all these companies will do well.
Okay. Well, Gaurang, what we'll do right now is take a very, very quick break. When we return, pre-opening action and more stock ideas with you. And also, Milene will be joining us right after the break as well. Stay tuned with us, viewers.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
Welcome back on Market Today. Pre-open rates are in front of us, and I so wish this were true. Nifty is for the moment about 100 points higher, 21,765. But this will settle down. Remember, the GIFT Nifty gave an indication that the main markets would open about 70 points lower. Let's see how it happens. But these are good signs. What are the prices that are ticking? Infosys. 1.5% up, 1558. We have a green tick on Kotak, 0.5% higher. HDFC Bank is 2.7% higher, 1745. I so wish this were true, but these prices will settle down. What is Reliance doing? Reliance is 0.3% higher. This is a sensible price, 21.19. But the Nifty continues to gain strength. Well. We'll just ignore these prices and focus on the FNO space. Okay, M&M. Now this is something I wanted to discuss. 1699, 2.6% higher. Remember, Motilal Oswal Securities has come up with a research report on M&M, giving a target of 2,005 rupees. Yesterday, their report on Lemon Tree Hotels was very well received by the market. The stock hit a record high, and today M&M for the moment is 2% higher. Also, I'd like to highlight all Adani Group stocks. The Supreme Court will be coming out with the judgment on the Hindenburg Adani tussle today. So that is something to be looked out for. Adani Ports 3.5% higher, 1116. Adani Enterprises at 3010, 2.65% higher. The Nifty's settled sensibly, 62 points higher, 21,725. Without a further wait, we'll introduce Milene Vasudeva. He's the senior technical analyst at Arihant Securities. A very warm welcome to you, Milene, and a happy new year. Your overall view of sentiment on Dalal Street and any pick that you'd like to highlight on the long or the short side.
Shail, very good morning and a happy new year to you and for your viewers. And coming to Nifty, yes, Nifty has got a good support at around 21,500 levels. Now, 21,500 level is the 10-day moving average, and it is still rising. So I'm of the opinion that some kind of a time-wise consolidation or a minor correction could be seen in the market. But at the lower levels, there are, if you see, two gaps are there on the Nifty, and there is a fair chance that a Nifty near 21,495, where there is a gap area, there is a strong buying demand over there. So we could see some bounce back from there. At present, I am positive on Nifty. We are working with the targets of 22,000 to 22,300 levels in couple of weeks' time. Coming to the stocks which I'm recommending today is from the pharma sector. One is from pharma sector, that is by Dr. Reddy. Last time also I had recommended this. Currently trading at 5922. Stop loss of 5800. Target would be 6150 and 6280 levels. So Dr. Reddy is the stock which I'm liking, and second is Lemon Tree, currently trading at 129, stop loss 121, and one target would be 145 and 158.
Okay, two stock ideas there. Dr. Reddy's Lemon Tree. We will keep an eye out on both these stocks. Milleen, welcome to Business Today TV. Happy New Year to you as well. And you know, we've been discussing a lot of themes with Gaurang also. But you know, the moment you and Milleen come in, there is no point not discussing the auto space as well. That has also picked up pace in the recent past. Of course, we've seen the sales figures that have been largely mixed. But it's the auto ancillary pack that I wanted to take your and Gaurang's view now. Of course, we will talk about Tata Motors and M&M that Shail was pointing out. But what is your stance in the auto ancillary pack? Are there any specific stock picks that you believe that investors can invest in for medium to long term now? Milleen.
This question is for me.
Yes.
See, no doubt about it that auto sector has also seen a good run up, and even auto ancillary. But clearly in the auto pack, I'm still positive on TVS Motors, Escorts, and Mahindra Mahindra. So these are the three stocks which we are liking, and we still feel that there is a good amount of steam left in all these three stocks, and you could expect a 10 to 15% return from current levels also.
Okay, Gaurang, your top stock pick from the auto pack and the auto ancillary pack?
What was we highlighted when I was listing down the entire universe of sectorial picks for 2024, Sakshi. So, just to repeat and for the benefit of viewers, Tata Motors, M&M, Maruti amongst the four-wheeler, Bajaj Auto, TVS, Hero MotoCorp, and of course, undoubtedly Royal Enfield motorcycles, Eicher Motors, Ashok Leyland, and possibly Escorts. These would be the names. And on the auto ancillary pack, the question that you asked, Sakshi, I think it was yesterday or day before that the government has announced further extension of PLI for more products in the auto ancillary stroke original equipment manufacturing pack with certain riders. We like names like CIE Automotive, Uno Minda, Bosch, Bharat Forge, Motherson Samvardhana, uh, all the tire manufacturing companies, including battery manufacturing companies. And Sakshi, if auto has to do well, our sense is that auto ancillary will also do well.
Sure.
Okay. If I remember correctly, Gaurang, CIE Automotives has been one of your favorites over the last 3-4 years. The company actually changed hands. The Mahindras, I think, have sold partial or exited fully to a French auto major, right? Am I right?
You are bang on, Shell. You are absolutely right. And after the change of guard took place, the stock broke out from its range of 250, 275, 300, and I think it crossed over to even 500 beyond. And now it is consolidating somewhere around about 500. Extremely well placed company, not only in the domestic market, Shell, but they have visible presence in the overseas market as well.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get Milleen into the conversation. Sakshi, just a moment, please. We've seen some of the daily charts on private banking stocks, Milleen, weaken, especially the likes of ICICI Bank. Would you have a view on this one? The most recent high was 1041. The index is, the stock is now at 982. This seems to be the lowest since, say, 4th of December, 1 month low. Your view on ICICI Bank?
See, first I would like to comment on Bank Nifty. If you see, Bank Nifty has started giving a negative divergence on the daily chart. And yesterday, in the latter half of the session, we saw good selling with huge volume. So again, this will have got a effect on all the banking stocks. And now coming to ICICI Bank, yes, the ICICI Bank has broken the major low of 991 and has closed below 980.84. This is the first sign of a lower top, lower bottom formation on ICICI Bank. However, the trend still remains up. It has got good support at around say 963, 944 level. So there one can try to accumulate and wait for a good bounce back from those levels. But at present, I would say just stay away from banking stock for say 1 more week time. Clearly, yesterday we have seen that on the pharma pack is gaining momentum, and one should position their bets on pharma pack.
Okay. A slew of reports, Milleen, have come out on the banking space. Morgan Stanley on Federal Bank has given a target price of 165. Nomura has also come out with a 190 rupees target price on Federal Bank. Bandhan Bank is on top of their radar, 375. Although Bandhan Bank has not performed in 2023, it was the lowest performing stock when it comes to the banking names in 2023. Of course, the PSU banks have been the flavor of 2023. Will they continue? Do you have any further picks from the PSU packs, especially the second and the third rung stocks from the PSU pack?
See, clearly, if you see even Federal Bank has started making a sideways move, and it will correct a little bit on the lower side, like 149, 145 levels. It can come down to those levels, but I don't think so. The longer term trend has changed, and clearly near those levels, there could be some reversal. So I would say bet yes, the PUC banks can correct for 1 or 2 weeks on current levels, and then again start its upward journey.
Okay, fair enough. Let me just shift gears and ask Gaurang about two particular stocks. One is DMart that came out with its business update yesterday. Of course, this has been a street favorite stock, and most of the analysts have been very, very positive on the stock for a long time. But not too much action happening over the last 1 year odd or so. How would you be placed now on Avenue Supermarts? And the second one that I will ask you is on VST Tillers, that has again seen Radhakrishna Damani pick up some stake. This is one stock that he's been holding on for about 23 years. How would you look at these two stocks?
So I'll take the second one first, Sakshi. Not a specific recommendation on VST, but it's one of the strongest players within the sector, with a very dedicated team of directors and management laying down business strategy and achieving their objectives. And the stock tends to re-rate itself on fallback of earnings. So a very strong balance sheet that you can definitely watch out for. With respect, sorry, which was the second, which was the first company, Sakshi?
DMart, Avenue
Okay.
Supermarts.
Yeah, so we've been, it is one of the historical names in terms of IPO listing, created best wealth generation for investors who applied for the IPO and held on to the stock. Last calendar year, that is 2023, there was disappointment in earnings, not in one but couple of quarters, and that was primarily because of the consolidation that they were going through. Post that, the management announced its ambitious plan of expansion, especially in the tier 2, tier 3 cities, and I think that is what Street is waiting for. Though it has been consolidating over the last maybe about 3-6 months, but not to forget, it is one of the best wealth creators from a longish time horizon, and we remain positive on Avenue Supermarket.
Okay, let me just quickly mark the brokerage houses take on Avenue Supermart after the business update. Just 1 minute, Shail, and then I'll give it to you. Morgan Stanley has an overweight rating with a target price of 4471 on Avenue Supermart. HSBC has a 4600 target price with a buy rating on Avenue Supermart. Goldman Sachs has a slightly lower target, 3650. It has a sell rating on Avenue Supermart. So that's the one that is something on the negative side for Avenue Supermart. The rest of the two are on the positive side. Shail.
Okay. There is a report coming in the media as far as Motherson, Samvardhana Motherson is concerned. Money Control reports that Japan's Sumitomo wiring system is perhaps looking to exit its 14.15% stake in Samvardhana Motherson soon. They are citing unnamed sources, and this transaction is likely to be worth 10,000 crore rupees, given the 71,000 crore market capitalization that Motherson Sumi enjoys. Remember, this is India's largest AMC when it comes to the top line, and has been doing fairly well over the last 1 week or so. Milind, to you, your view technically on Samvardhana.
See, Shail, I'm not getting the this thing. I'm getting a perforated chart from Samvardhana, so I'll pass this question.
Okay, not a problem. This is the erstwhile Motherson Sumi that we used to have. They demerged their wiring business.
That is trading for 105 rupees.
The main ancillary business sometime ago.
Trading at 105 rupees?
105.5.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I got it.
Yes,
see,
correct.
Yes. See, Motherson Sumi, if you see on the weekly charts, clearly it is making a rounding base pattern. And 3 days back only, we have seen a good volume pickup in this counter. Good accumulation in the range of 98 to somewhere around 96 levels. Now, yesterday we saw some kind of a pullback in this stocks. But definitely, this is a strong stock. One can keep a stop loss of, say, somewhere around 97. On the higher side, this stock is likely to test 115 to 120.
Right. Let's start with the markets, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bit of a red tick on the Nifty, just as was pointed out by the GIFT Nifty. 52 points lower is what is the starting tick on the Nifty, 21,617. The Bank Nifty is now 181 points lower, 47,570. It's the IT index that's taking it on the chin. Remember, the Nasdaq posted a very sharp decline in Wall Street yesterday. All that selling pressure now reflected on Nifty IT as well. 483 points lower, 34,825 for you. Okay, let's start, ladies and gentlemen. We'll look at the Adani Group today. Remember, the Supreme Court will be announcing its verdict on the Hindenburg Adani row, which dominated corporate India's mindspace all of 2023. Adani Enterprises is the top F&O gainer, 5% higher, 3,073. Adani Ports, okay, the top 4 gainers are from the Adani stable. Adani Ports 3% higher, 1,1112. Ambuja Cement 541, 1.85% higher. ACC 1.36% higher. That's as far as the group is concerned. Now let's look at the index heavyweights. I had to point out where traders are focusing. Therefore, we looked at Adani. Reliance up 0.2%, 2617. The trend doesn't look good. Out of 12, about 9 index heavyweights are in the red. HDFC Bank is flat, 1698. Let's look at ICICI Bank. 0.5% downtick, 977. The selling gets accelerated. Axis Bank is 1084, roughly a percent higher. Infosys is 1.6% lower, 1509. Now this is adding pressure on the Nifty. How about TCS? TCS is again 0.8% lower, 3752. Let's look at the most active counters as of now. Well, it's Adani Enterprises, so you know where traders are concentrating. 4% higher, and already 341 crores worth of transactions happening. Again, Adani Ports, about 151 crore worth of transactions happening as far as the most active stocks are concerned. Let's look at the top gainers. IOC 131.85, a percent higher. ONGC 208.30, 0.6% higher. IRCTC 0.5% higher, 890. Within the FNO space and the NSE 500, Okay, which are the stocks that I'd like to mark? Okay, across the board, it's the Adani Group. Adani Energy Solutions 8% higher, 1155. Adani Total Gas 8% higher. Adani Green 5.7% higher. Adani Power 5% higher, 544. Okay, that's how it is. Pharma is again moving. Lemon Tree 133, 2.5% higher. We also have a sharp move coming in on PNB Housing, 794, 2% higher. Milleen, to you, anything that catches your fancy in the open?
See, currently, if you see VST industry is a stock which is flying high. So here, actually, if you see, there is a good volume pickup. So clearly, I'm of the opinion that it is currently trading somewhere around 4,000 levels and 4,050. So I'll keep a close watch on VST industry too.
Okay, Adani Group it is. Adani Enterprises 4% higher, the top mover. Adani Ports 1.8% higher in trade. Looks like it is the verdict that it is expecting from Supreme Court today. And we've heard most of the positive commentaries coming in before this. So this could be the final closure to all the overhang over the Hindenburg research report that we've seen all through 2023. Gaurang, to you. On the Adani Group, what should one do now? Any particular stocks that you're more bullish on with this kind of a momentum? Is it wise enough to chase the momentum or still hold on?
Well, Sakshi, first of all, don't have any specific coverage on the names that you mentioned, but let me say this. I would not rush into a situation wherein the clarity is still a big question mark. Point number one. Point number two, if you really have the ability to digest the volatility in terms of news flows, whether positive or negative, then you can decide on your own and take a call. But no specific recommendations since we don't have coverage on these companies.
Okay. You talked about the cement pack, and Adani Group has recently acquired Ambuja ACC. Would you be looking at these two stocks from the cement pack? Do they have enough value?
Yeah, so apologies. These two names are under our coverage, and our sense is that cement is as a commodity play. Not only cement, Sakshi, even metals, as a matter of fact. I think it's going to be a huge kind of positive year, not only the calendar year but also the financial year, starting 1st April 24, and thereafter, couple of more years to follow. Both the sectors, cement and metal, the input cost has come down, margins have improved, operational efficiencies has improved profitability, and more importantly, Sakshi, I think consumption is going to be quite strong, led by cement, then followed by metals.
Okay.
Okay, let's just now mark the market. Sakshi, ITC, remember we caught this at 470. We are also tracking the 470 ITC call on the market. Let's also look at what else is buzzing. As far as the markets are concerned, let's look at the Nifty, which are the top gainers as of now. Let's not focus on the Adani stocks, we've marked them. Bajaj Finserv 0.7% higher, 1697. ITC 0.5% higher, 472.90. Actually, there are more losers than gainers on the Nifty, which is the top loser. Okay. Now with the 10-year US bond yield sort of rising, as also the dollar index, it's the metals that are undergoing some kind of profit booking. JSW Steel 848, 2.5% lower. Hero Motors disappointed in their December volume sales, 1.8% lower, 4012. Tata Steel Hindalco. So these are the two other losers. 2% lower on Tata Steel, 136.95. Hindalco almost 2% lower, 605.75. And it's IT that is taking it on the chin. Wipro down 1.8, 460.80. Infosys down 1.5%, 1511. HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra, L&T Mindtree. So this is a bit of a pain point as far as markets are concerned. PSU stocks are undergoing a strong bout of profit booking. National Aluminium 4.6% lower, 132.65. BHEL 2.5% lower, 197. PNB, Steel Authority, Coal India, IREDA all down between 1.5%, 2%. Gaurang, anything that catches your fancy in this kind of a market opening? The Nifty now 57 points lower, Bank Nifty 0.5% lower, IT Index 1.2% lower.
I think I'll go with two names, Shell. These two names were in action, and I think I mentioned when I was mentioning about defense play, and that is BHEL and BEL. Strong conviction as far as these two names are concerned. One more name, if I have to look at, though it was in spotlight on last week Friday as well as Monday, and I think made a new 52-week high or a lifetime high, is Ashok Leyland. I was reading a report late last evening about the launches that Ashok Leyland plans, including, since I'm speaking about fossil fuel commercial vehicle Ashok Leyland, there's one more name called Electra Green Tech, which is basically into manufacturing of commercial EVs. This company also has given out certain statements about the order book that they have and the launches that they have planned. So these would be some ideas that I would be looking at, given the kind of correction that we have seen.
Okay. Right. Gaurang, let me bring your attention to some of the other stocks that are in focus. ITC already mentioned by Shell. The FMCG space is catching up pace. I'm looking at Britannia now picking up as well, 0.5% higher. HUL is also moving higher in trade. Nestle is 0.5% up in trade as well. So the big four FMCG names, they are up in trade. Of course, do you think that the FMCG space will perform in 2024? It has not been one of the top performers in the previous year, but do you think they will fast catch up pace?
So actually the concern for FMCG pack was the erratic monsoon, excess somewhere and deficit somewhere. And that led to a general consensus in the market that demand from semi-urban and rural area, which is otherwise very supportive as far as volume growths are concerned, would be lackluster, and it might have a little bit of impact on the numbers that FMCG company would report. But what I have seen is that there is no significant impact. As far as your question of recovery is concerned, well, I'm quite optimistic. India has been, is, and will always be a consumption-driven story. And the fact of the matter is that every international brand wants to come and set up their shop in India, looking at the huge consumption demand that we are witnessing. So we are positive on HUL, ITC, Dabur, Marico, Britannia, Nestle, Tata Consumer, which is going through a merger process with Tata Coffee, Godrej Consumer, Imami, to name a few investment ideas.
Okay. And the other space that I wanted to take your view on is the oil and gas space, Gaurang. And, we are again looking at a 0.6% surge as the top moving space in the sectoral action today. And, of course, we've been seeing BPCL, HPCL, IOC in momentum all of this while, multiples rising for these companies. Even the gas majors, the city gas majors were in momentum yesterday, Gujarat Gas, MGL, and even IGL as well. How are you looking at this entire basket of energy space, and where would your most conviction lie?
So I remain very optimistic as far as the city gas distribution or piped gas distribution or CNG, LPG is concerned. Names like Petronet LNG, Gujarat Gas, IGL, Indraprastha Gas, which went through a rough patch because of certain announcements in Delhi itself about aggregators switching on to EVs, etc., etc. Petronet LNG is the other one. Unfortunately, speaking about oil marketing companies, I remember a movie called Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na. And this is purely because, this sector is at the mercy of government policies. And unfortunately, they are quite choppy in the recent times. Though we are positive on all the three oil marketing companies, but remains to be seen how the entire divestment process unfolds post-election, and what is the quantum of cut which we have heard from certain sources about petrol and diesel per liter cut that they are planning to bring in. How much will government bear? How much will oil marketing companies bear? And finally, of course, Sakshi, the mother of all positivities, where the crude oil prices are going to head, whether it is going to be sub 75 $70 or whether we are going to hit $90 and above again. So it's going to be a little bit choppy as far as OMCs are concerned.
Okay, let's mark a couple of stocks, Sakshi, where we see strong momentum coming in. Remember, we had caught ITC exactly at 470. The one is now accelerating fairly sharply. Cash price is 475.30. Let's look at what's happening as far as futures are concerned. Fairly strong move coming in there. I'm sure this is one of the top gainers as far as futures is concerned. A fairly strong momentum here, 478.30. Milene, if your software is now working, would you want to point out what ITC is up to?
Consolidation, ITC has come out from that consolidation zone. Good accumulation in the range of 450 to 460 levels. Now currently trading at 475 levels. One can initiate a long currently at current levels also. Keep a stop loss of somewhere around 460. On the higher side, we expect that the stock is likely to head towards say 490 to 510 in a couple of weeks' time.
Okay, let's also look at the 470 option that we had suggested 2 days ago. It's now blistering at 1450, almost. Let's look at 1450. It's up 3 rupees, doing fairly well, and a lot of shorts within that particular space are now getting covered. Very bullish move coming in on ITC. What else is sticking? Let's also look at the broader markets. We are almost at 9:30 now, so the first 15 minutes have lapsed. Let's see what the broader markets are doing. The Nifty is down 43, the Nifty Bank down 174, and the Nifty IT down 1.3%. Okay, we track 19 indices for you. 4 plus 4, 8. 8 are in the red, with the IT index being the top loser. About 11 are in the green. The energy index is about 0.7% higher, 33,951. This is led primarily by ONGC, Oil India, HPCL, BPCL. That entire pack is doing pretty well. Also in the green is the FMCG space, led no doubt by ITC. I see strong gains coming in on Marico, 551.40. Fairly strong block deals happening there, as also the small cap and the mid cap indices are in the green, but we'll ignore that. What about the NSE 500? Flat, absolutely. The advanced decline ratio in the broader market is 1221 to 723. So at the moment it's the bulls that are on the front foot. Let's see how markets shape up at the moment. Amongst the super high beta counters, let's look at the ones that are in the green. HBL Power, 2% higher, 461.70. Remember, it's the railway theme that is resonating in the broad market. We have CDSL, something that Sakshi had pointed out, 1.2% higher, 1841. We have Poonawalla FinCorp, 1% higher, 435. And we have a strong move coming in on Paytm, 1.1% higher, 658.40. Sakshi, what are you observing?
A lot of finance names are taking some top spot as far as the F&O action is concerned. L&T Finance Holdings now 5% higher in trade. Of course, there have been some brokerage house reports like MK has a 190 rupees target. Currently, it's at around 173, 174. Manappuram Finance is picking up pace, 3% higher in the F&O action. M&M Finance is also among the top movers in the F&O space. From the Nifty pack, of course, the last 1 hour of trade did throw up Bajaj twins like Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv up in trade. Bajaj Finance is again half odd percent higher. Even our analyst Vaishali Parekh was mentioning that she's positive on this one. So I will take a view on both from Gaurang and Milin on the entire finance space. Gaurang, first to you. How are you looking at this NBFC space? Finally, is the cylinder going to be firing away in 2024?
So, in the universe of sectorial allocation, banking and NBFCs is something that I mentioned, and names like Bajaj Finance, L&T Finance, M&M Finance, Chola, Shriram, uh, housing finance companies like LIC Housing Finance, Canfin Homes, Repco Finance, microfinance companies, something like AU Small Finance, Ujjivan Small Finance, Equitas Small Finance. And our view at Geojit Sakshi is that the credit demand is going to stay quite robust. And I'm extremely happy with the kind of initiatives and steps and changes that the RBI has put in place where it comes to the unsecured loan, because that was something that was not acceptable. Companies and banks were over leveraging. I read a report, Sakshi, about 2 days back that most of these loans were in demand from all those individuals who had already two loans outstanding. So,
Okay.
rather going in for a credit bubble, credit risk bubble, I think it was very appropriate to step in time, take appropriate steps, and rein in the kind of risk that was likely to evolve from, left, right, and center lending. And I'm quite sure all of us would have got calls, unsolicited calls from a lot of companies, which I don't want to mention names, and banks, again, which I don't want to mention the names, uh, asking for whether you want to take a loan and all that. I mean, you can imagine what would have happened. I think it would have been, thank God, what happened in 2008 was saved by the grace of God and RBI stepping in time.
Yes. Okay. Milin, your thoughts, financial names. Are you bullish on any of these names like M&M Finance, which Citi has given out a brokerage house report of 350 rupees target, L&T Finance, M&M Finance, or maybe Manappuram Finance?
See, I'm positive on Bajaj Finance. Actually, if you
Okay.
see Bajaj Finance for last 7 to 8 trading 7 to 8 weeks, it started correcting, and now it has taken support at the 200-day moving average line, which is at 7079 levels, and now from there it is started bouncing back. So I'm of the opinion that 7079 will hold going forward, and currently the initial resistance for it is somewhere around 76.95 level. It is currently trading at 7462 levels. But yes, one can initiate a long, keep a 200 points stop loss. On the higher side, you could expect somewhere around 7600, 7800 in couple of weeks' time.
Fair enough. Gaurang, I'll take your attention to the broader markets, and within that, in the pharma space, a lot of mid-cap names now picking up pace. FDCs, 7.5% higher in trade. We also have GlaxoSmithKline Pharma, 3% up. This was also one of the top movers yesterday from the mid-cap pharma basket, and we saw some brokerage houses reports also coming in. Apart from this, Alembic Pharma is another one that's moving up fast. How are you looking at these mid-cap pharma names, and do they hold value?
So some of them definitely have, and I recommended one name called Zydus Life Science. Some of the other names that we are positive as far as pharma names are concerned in the mid-cap universe is Aurobindo Pharma. Alembic is also one of the names that we are extremely positive about. Possibly Natco Pharma is the other one that I would like to mention in terms of investment idea. But let me say this, actually, that this is the time. Yesterday and today are the times when the market is witnessing profit booking. You need to be extremely focused as far as what business these companies have, and as far as our view is that all your APIs and intermediaries and research oriented special uh, R&D kind of companies, oncology kind of companies will do extremely well over a longish period of time.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sakshi, I think what we'll do is we'll take a quick break. On the other side of that break will be the kind of profit booking that's happening across the board as far as markets are concerned, and it's primarily led by very sharp weakness coming into techs. But that's on the other side of the break. The Nifty for you is at 21,583, now down 82 points. We'll be back shortly.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Welcome back. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm joined by Shail, Gaurang and Milleen, who are constantly talking about various stock ideas that you should be focusing on. It's turning out to be a day which belongs to the Adani Group stocks. Remember, the verdict will come out today of the Supreme Court on the Adani Hindenburg case, and therefore you see a 6% surge. Top moving stock on the Nifty, Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports follows 4% higher. In the broader markets, Adani Energy Solutions is 14% higher in trade. Adani Total Gas is 10% up in trade. Adani Wilmar 8.5%. Adani Green Energy 7.5% higher. Adani Power up by 4.5 to 5% in trade. So all of the Adani Group stocks are really taking away all the spotlight. As far as the Nifty is concerned, it's now given up the 21,600 mark. It's down by 80 odd points as well. So profit booking continues on the benchmark index level. Sectorally, again, it's the heavyweights that are dragging the street. It's the IT stocks that are down by 1.8%, followed by the losses that were seen overnight in the Wall Street as well. Barring the oil and gas, FMCG, and the Nifty Next 50. Rest of the sectors are actually all into the red zone right now. But Milleen, let me just ask you, do you track any of the Adani names at all? And would you look at the chasing of any of the momentum in these stocks?
See, Adani Port is a stock which is giving a clear signal. Now, 4 weeks of a consolidation, it has clearly broken, and today it is moving with a upward gap area. So yes, Adani Port is a stock which can test the higher levels. Currently trading at 1122 levels. One can keep a stop loss of 1040 on the higher side. 1200 to 1250 could be achievable.
Okay. Adani Ports right there as a preferred
Let's
pick
look
by
at
Milleen.
the F&O space. Sakshi, let's just look at the broader picture within the F&O space. The market, as you very rightly pointed out, is now slipping and slipping a bit faster. Nifty is now down 90 points. Remember, the first support level on the Nifty is at 21,560, which is fairly close. We are at 575. The overall advance decline ratio in the F&O space is 63 stock futures are in the green and 123 are in the red. So 1:2, favoring the bears. Okay. Now what else? So apart from the Adani set of stocks across the board, we track 10 of them, and all 10 are in the green. Led by Adani Energy Solutions up 12%, and ACC bringing up the rear up 1%. But strong momentum, strong volume and strong price action seen on Adani Group. I believe the result of the verdict will be out somewhere like 10:30 a.m. today. Let's see what happens by then. But It's the selling that's getting accelerated. The Nifty is now down 101 points, 21,568 for you. The pain on the IT index is fairly sharp. Now a 2 percentage point cut here, 34,606. Remember, all this started off with a sell report by Barclays on Apple. Apple is now at its lowest level since November of 14th. Barclays cited weak demand for the iPhone for downgrading Apple, and that's reverberating across the board. You've seen very heavy selling pressure coming in the first 15-20 minutes of trade. Almost now half an hour has passed and there is not a single green candle on the Nifty as far as the 5-minute windows are concerned. Selling pressure across the board led by IT. Wipro 458. Let's look at the IT stocks in terms of percentage fall. It's led by Wipro, 2.5% lower, 457. L&T Mindtree is 2.34% lower, 6,000. Tech Mahindra is 2% lower, 1250. Infosys and TCS about 2% lower at 1502 and 3715 respectively. So Wednesday has not been a good day for bulls as far as the index is concerned, despite my green shirt, Sakshi.
Absolutely. Mileen, your take on the FMCG stocks that have been moving up. You did talk about ITC. What about the other stocks, HUL, Nestle, Britannia, or even the second run companies, Imami, Dabur, Marico? Are you positive on any of these second run companies?
ITC is one stock, and the second stock is Britannia. Clearly, a trend is clearly on the higher side, and clearly a higher top, higher bottom formation is there. It is outperforming the benchmark indices. Now, currently, it is consolidating at current levels, and that is 5,300. But yes, with a stop loss of 5,200, one can easily look that this counter can test 5,400, 5,600 in couple of months' time.
Okay, that's as far as the FMCG space is concerned. And the other one that's moving up, so the FMCG stocks are the ones that are saving the grace, half a quarter percent up in trade today. And the oil and gas space, I did ask Gaurang about what his thought process is in the entire oil and gas, and he was more positive on the city gas distribution names. Mileen, where are you positive on in the entire oil and gas pack? Would it be upstream, downstream, the gas majors? How are you looking at the entire pack right now?
See, if you, I'm very positive on GAIL. If you see GAIL last year also, it has given a tremendous return, and currently it is consolidating at current levels like 161, 162 levels. But at lower levels, yes, one can look for GAIL. If it comes down towards, say, somewhere around 154, 146 levels, one can play for a target of, say, 180 to 200 levels in couple of months' time.
Sakshi, it's Adani Ports. I think it's a record high by default. It's moving very sharply, and the volumes are fantastic. 1126, yes, it's a record high. The volume that we saw yesterday has already been surpassed. About 72 lakh shares have been traded. These are news driven, and always stocks that have created huge volatility. So we are just marking them for you. Difficult to take a call what the Supreme Court will say, and only clarity will be seen somewhere like 10:30. But before that, as I said, they've held some part of the Nifty on a very strong platform, but Nifty itself is now testing the first support level, 21,560 for you. Remember, the all-time high for the index was at least in the futures 22,000, but in terms of the cash markets, it is somewhere like 21,801, 21,834 actually. So 834 minus 566, it's roughly a nice 300 point correction on the index. Let's see how it goes, but it's Adani Ports that's taking it away. Mileen, would you want to share a view on Adani Ports?
So currently only I've shared my view on Adani Port, and I'm only positive on this stock only because 3 weeks of consolidation, it has clearly broken out and the volumes are picking up. So I'm expecting that a 1200 to 1250 move could be possible in this stock. One can keep a stop loss of say somewhere say 1044 should be your stop loss. On the higher side, you could expect 1200 to 1250 levels.
Okay. Mileen.
Sakshi, yours.
Mileen, would you have a view on Bharti Airtel? It's moving up. I think it's just about 0.1% higher, so not too much of a momentum. But you know, the news flows have been positive. It's just now on an acquisition spree as well. Yesterday also we did see the news of its acquiring in Beetle Tech Technologies as well. But how are you looking at Bharti Airtel? Do you think the charts are indicating any positive momentum for this year?
See, at present, if you see on the daily chart, it is clearly consolidating for 4 trading sessions. It is just consolidating in the range of 1008 and on the lower side, and 1000 somewhere around 1043 on the higher side. Now, clearly, this formation is something called as a accumulation pattern only. And if it gives a breakout about 1050 level, we could see a cup and handle breakout in this stock, and that should be with good volumes. Now, even this fall is coming is with thinner volume. So clearly, yes, one can look in for adding their position in this stock. Keep a stop loss somewhere, say around 1008. On the higher side, you could expect the momentum once it crosses 1050 levels. You could expect 1100 to 1150 levels.
Okay. The other space that's catching my attention is the entire new age tech space. You know, stocks like Nykaa coming back. I think it's about 1% higher in trade. Delivery, it's about 3% higher. Zomato has been in focus over the last 2 days. Paytm was in focus. Policy Bazaar. You're looking at all of these new age tech stocks that have been moving up. Mileen, do you track any of them? Of course, historical charts won't be there, but any of the stocks from the new age tech basket?
See, even if you check Nykaa is not giving clear formation of a trend, and it is trading sideways. I don't expect any dynamic move in this stock. But currently, we have recommended one stock called Arvind Fashion on our this thing for our clients.
Okay.
Arvind Fashion is doing good in today's trading session. It is somewhere around 434, and see, check the volumes. The volumes are picking up on the hourly charts also. So if one can keep a stop loss of say 390 on the higher side, this Arvind Fashion could see the levels of 450, 480 levels. So one can trade with positive bias in Arvind Fashion.
Arvind Fashion is what you're talking about.
Yes, yes. It is currently trading at 434 levels.
Okay, okay, fair enough. Anything from the cement basket, Mileen?
See, at present, ACC, which is showing some kind of a momentum, slow and steadily it is making a momentum, and now currently it has recent top of say 2305 it has crossed, and it seems that this stock is likely to head towards say 2400, 2450 levels. But here the stop loss is little bit on the deeper side, like 2175 would be your stop loss. So one can trade with positive bias in cement pack also.
Okay, Sakshi, I'd like to point out a sector. It's the public sector railway theme that's moving very, very sharply in trade. We have IRCON 3.7% higher, 180.70, and this is accompanied by a very, very sharp burst in volume. About 1 crore 35 lakh shares of IRCON have been traded. Very strong momentum coming here. Apart from that, it's the usual suspects, RVNL, Railtel, that are up more than 2.5% each. And this is, of course, accompanied by a very sharp spurt in volume. The highest beta counter in the railway space is IRCTC, up 2%, 904.80. And you have bit gains coming in on IRFC. You have a smart gain coming in on HBL Par, 1.6% higher, almost 460. So this is possibly one sector to look at. I am again constrained to point out Adani Enterprises now rising again very smartly, 31.42, along with Adani Ports. This is the two top gainers on the Nifty. Adani Enterprises up 6.5%, Adani Ports up 5%. Very, very strong move coming in. Would you share a view on IRCTC, Mileen? Now at 905.55, 2.2% higher.
In cash, it is somewhere trading around 909 levels. Clearly, it is now breaking out from 6 days of a consolidation, and this clearly shows that there is some kind of an accumulation in this stock. In the range of, say, somewhere around 870, 880 levels. Now one can keep a stop loss of 871, and on the higher side, this stock is likely to test 950 to 975 levels in a couple of weeks' time. So one can trade with positive bias in IRCTC.
Okay, I'd just like to mark Ambuja Cement. Sakshi had just recently pointed out the cement space. Mileen, your view on Ambuja Cement, although it's a part of the Adani group, both ACC and Ambuja did not see the ferocity of selling as was witnessed in the other Adani group stocks, and their businesses were slightly more stable, more volatile, more predictable, and had a very, very strong financial performance over the last 20-25 years. Ambuja hit an all-time high of I think 602, yes, 604 rupees somewhere in December of 2022 at 544. What are the medium-term charts of Ambuja telling you, Mileen?
See, if you check the weekly chart now for 3 weeks, it was consolidating, and now it has in current week it has given a breakout above the bear candle of 533, and it is currently trading at 545 levels. Now one can keep a stop loss. One can accumulate this stock in the range of 545 to 500 and say 30 levels. Keep a stop loss of 517. On the higher side, yes, it can retest the prior all-time high and even extend its gains further towards say 600, 650 levels. But this would take a little bit longer time of say a couple of months time it will take.
Okay. Well, on that note, thanks a lot then, Mileen, for being with us on this very special edition and to share all the stock ideas that you have and you always do. Many thanks, and we will touch base again to discuss more about the markets going forward. On the benchmark index level, it's still sluggish, 21,586 for the Nifty, 0.3% down in trade. It's the Nifty Bank that's lagging behind. Broader markets, IT index, all of them down in trade, barring the oil and gas, the FMCG, and some gains coming in on the consumer durables. The rest of the sectors are all down in trade. IT, auto, metals, banks, financial services, they're all down in trade. A 0.25% dip even on the broader markets, mid and the small caps as well. It's clearly a day that belongs to the Adani Group stocks. On the Nifty, among the top 10 movers on the positive side on the Nifty, you have at least 4 names that are from, 2 names that are at least from the Adani pack. It's Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports, both as the top movers on the Nifty. 7.5% move, 7.7% higher at 3159 for Adani Enterprises. Adani Ports, which we have discussed widely, 1140 is the current level, 5.7% higher for Adani Ports as well. From the broader markets, it's Adani Energy Solutions that's the top mover, now moving higher than 16.5%. It's now at 1239. Adani Total Gas 10% higher, Adani Green Energy 8.7% higher in trade, Adani Wilmar 8.1% higher, and Adani Ports also 5.5% higher in trade, Adani Power 5% higher in trade, Ambuja Cements up 3% in trade as well, and ACC also up by almost 2.5% in trade right now. So these are as far as the Adani Group stocks are concerned. Sluggish on the benchmark index level, Adani Group stocks clearly in the limelight, and we will be telling you what the verdict has come out. We are awaiting the verdict at around 10:30 a.m. So do stay tuned with us on Business Today television to catch all the updates from the verdict from the Supreme Court on the Adani Hindenburg case. And once the verdict is out, what does it mean for the Adani Group? We will tell you all of it. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned with us on Business Today television. Thanks a lot, Shail, for being with us on this special edition.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
I am Nagpur, started 2015 as a 14th IIM in 13th biggest city of India, Nagpur. And today, in last 8 years,